I don't know if there's any other questions of those in the room. I'm sure there are. We have Dr. Stephen Finkelman with us as well. If you'd like to ask, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
you
And
may
cameras are
interrogate
still
me.
rolling,
Yeah.
right? Did you want to?
So I was going to ask Anne-Marie, did you ever meet or whatever happened to Mary and the two children?
Marianne, yeah, she came after the war with her two children to visit my parents. But that was about a year after the war was over. And then, unfortunately, she died of uterine cancer. So the two children, there were no relatives, the two children were orphans. And they were taken by an organization and put on the ships that were going to Israel, who were running the blockades.
Yes, like the Exodus with
Yes,
the Haganah and
yes,
so forth. Okay.
yes. They were small. They were, Sammy was, no, David was, I think he was just 7, and Eva was 6. And they were put in a kibbutz and grew up
In Israel.
there.
Wow.
But at least they were looked after, and they were with, well, how do you call it? Your own people,
Yes,
you
yeah.
know, and that is very, for young children, it was traumatic for them, but they did well. So we met both of them when we went to Israel.
Wow.
You know, little Eva, and there, strapping young woman with 2 children,
Yeah.
you know.
Wow. And they helped build the state of Israel.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
that is how it grew.
Amazing.
You know, not just bang it as everything now they say, oh, it has to happen now. No, because things cannot happen just like that. Slowly, 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 and it grows.
Wow. 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 Any other questions?
Hmm.
Did you know Nell Imthorn from Kelowna?
No.
So Nell Imthorn tells a very, she's Dutch, and she tells a very similar story to what you've told. And she was awarded her certificate and medal in a ceremony in Kelowna in the 1980s.
Mm.
And many of the things that you said, we have to do what we have to do, was very exactly what she said. She would say that when the prisoners, quote, prisoners, civilians, were being taken away, that she had a split second to decide. She went in, she grabbed one and pulled him out. She said, you didn't have time to think. You had to act very quickly.
Yeah. But you see, I was too young for that.
Yes.
You know, I was still a child.
She was older. That's correct, yeah. But it was quite an impressive. The Consul General from Toronto came out,
Hmm.
and it was a very impressive event. Very impressive.
Yeah, we got ours in Jerusalem, you know, and
Yad Vashem.
that was so nice. All also the relatives from Fintje and Sam, and then from Marianne, her 2 children. We were with about 30 people, you know, and yeah, and it was beautiful, really. And then you say, oh, that is what my parents did. Yeah.
I'm wondering, Anne-Marie, since we're here, if you could just point out your mother and father, and we'll get some. We have pictures and so forth. But if you want to just say any words about them.
Well, all I can say for them, and really mean it, they were very courageous. They had 4 young children. I was the oldest, you know, and my sister was born in 39, and my brother in 38, and the other brother was in 34, and I was in 32. So we were really children.
Wow.
And that is why my grandfather and my father's brother said, Harry, jij bent gek. You know, dat kun je niet doen. And things. My father said, yeah, I can, I must, I shall.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, when Adam, when you think about how many people from that how branch
Yeah.
are there now, that you say, unbelievable. But it is true, you save one, you save a whole nation.
Right. Wow. Wow. Wonderful. Wow. And we thank you. We thank you.
Hmm.
Was there any others? I know we want to be on to, yes, Anita.
Anne Marie, thank you very much for the privilege of being here. I wonder if you might have something to say to our society today that would give us the courage to choose to be our brother's brother,
Mm-hmm.
opposed other than instead of being our brother's keeper.
Yeah, because you realize the big difference between the word keeper is subjective, and you can say somebody in prison, we keep them, or I keep my old mother or my old father. No, we are brothers, and that is blood. So it takes a totally different dimension if we could just think that way. And don't make a mistake about it. Your brothers can annoy you too,
I have two.
and your sisters too. Believe you me. But it's the principle of the matter, how you, in your mind, how you think really about it. And it, yeah, no, it's not completely thinking, because then it is knowledge. And so it's feeling, it's how your heart and your mind, because you need the two really, your heart giving you the impulse and say, oh, we can't let that happen. And your mind says, that is what we are going to do. But you have to have that real conviction. That is what I must do, not can do, not maybe, or we shall see, or I'll think about it and I let you know half a year from now. No, you do. And you do what your heart and your mind tell you, that combination. That's what you do there and then. And that is what the world is lacking. Now, at the moment, the world is ruled based with money. Everything you look at it, left, right, center, up, down, and you look and you say, money, 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 money. It is demonic. It has taken on demonic proportions. And people still don't see it. You see, that is where I have a problem. And I said, how come that I can see it? And how come that they all say, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, it's really terrible, yes. Oh, shall we go for coffee? You know, I'm always out of it. I've never been, yeah, I've done lots of things that I was, but not, how would I say, that it makes me, oh, I love doing it. I love teaching. I love talking. I usually, not always, know what I'm talking about, but now and again, that even my daughter said, Mom, did you hear yourself? I said, yes, Margreta, I did. And I will say it again if it is even to tease you. But,
Wow.
but you have, that is another thing. People will not come out with the real feeling or real, I often wonder if they do have the right feelings. And when I look around, I say, they don't see it. How come I can see it? I could see it from a very young age. And people now, It's all the news and the TV and the this and the that. I have nothing. I have no TV. I have absolutely nothing. No odd phone. I haven't. And my TV, I cancelled that the 3rd of November in 1999 because I was fed up, tired with the lies and how they tried to get people, the way they said things. And you say, it's a lie. I was there. And now you are telling, it's a lie. You are lying. And then in Toronto, we had Rogers. And then one November, my husband was overseas. And one November, I was listening to the news, something we had been demonstrating for. And I said, bloody hell, they are lying through their teeth. That is it. So I picked up the phone and I said, I cancel
Yeah, wow.
my subscription. And then they said, Mr. Johnston, you can't. And I said, I beg your pardon. And they said, no, you can't. Your husband signed the contract, and that was 20 years before. And my husband at that time was in Bermuda. He was head of the Bank of Butterfield. And I phoned him and I said, Colin, will you please call or write to Rogers? I cancelled the subscription. And he said, why did you do that? You don't want to know the news? I said, no, I'm fed up with news. It's all lies, lies, lies. And if I want to hear lies, I can tell them myself. So.
Wow. Oh,
I think Anita, it's Anita, right?
Yeah.
So you asked the question, because it's the big question. I believe your words were, what can you say to society to get society back on track? Something of that nature. So my conclusion is that there's nothing, because you cannot control society. The only person that you can control, not even your spouse or your children, the only person that you can control is yourself. And you can see actually by Anne-Marie's discussion that she's perfectly in control of herself. She knows what's right and she does it.
Mhm.
But she can't put that onto a stranger or someone else. It doesn't work that way. You know, you can read the Bible where in Leviticus it says, love your neighbor as yourself.
Huh.
And we all read that and we all say that, whatever. But it's only you who can actually follow through with action.
Yes. We,
It's in a very bad spot.
you know, what we forget is that we are, how would my father say? My father said, people don't run themselves. They are run by other forces. He said, and when he told me when the Germans were coming, and he said, and you have a good brain. The good Lord give you a very good brain. I was only 7 years old, 6.5 actually. And he said, and you will use your brain. And sometimes when I think, why don't people not see it? Oh God, it is there. And what is it? And then I always think, I say, yes, Papa, I know. You told me I have a good brain. I've been trying to use it all my life, so what else can you do?
wow.
You have to follow. No, there's another aspect to it too. If you believe, people now, the world as such, has thrown God away. We are killing, murdering our unborn children. We are now with the euthanasia killing sick people, people who are a little bit disturbed and so forth. But only who can do that? God gives life and God takes life. He knows. And what are we doing? We kill. We kill the old ones, the young ones, the unborn ones. Kill, kill, kill. Money, money, money. And money can give us happiness, It doesn't, of course. But so, what is humanity thinking? What do they believe in? Look at the churches. Who still goes to church? Not many anymore. Not that the churches were full. I'm sure it's with the synagogues too, that not many people are coming anymore. They say, Quatsch, forget about it. We don't need that. We do need it because if we throw him out, then what is left?
Wow.
Nothing that can give us what we really need.
If there's any final words for the camera, for those watching, the next generation, let's just say, that will be watching. One of the questions I asked to kind of preface this in a little clip that I put was, what would you do if you were in Anne Marie's place, if you were in Henri's place or Josephine's place?
Maybe that sounds arrogant, but again, believe in God, believe in your Maker. Do what He has told us with the 10 Commandments. Keep to them. We are not saints here on earth. We make mistakes. We do stupid things, but be yourself. Be what you are made for, what you are created for. Follow God, be what He tells us really to do. It's very easy. What He tells us, sometimes a bit more difficult, but you have to work a little bit harder. Okay, that's what we are for on earth. So, but be what God wants us to be.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, thank you. And thank you all for listening. And I know many of you will be inspired by this story and to also take a stand and to use your brain and your heart, like you mentioned, in situations where we truly need.
If God gave you a brain, sometimes I look at them and I keep saying, oh my God, the brainless masses, the lame brains. And I thought, so many of them, oh God, where is it going from now?
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, thank you. This has been wonderful. This has been wonderful, and I know it's going to be so inspiring for many, and we're gonna share. We're gonna be sharing.
Yeah, and tell
right
the young
across.
people,
Yes.
motivate them. You don't
Yes.
have to count it big things. It's the smaller things that let them be genuine.
Yeah.
Let them, love God, do what He wants us to do, and do it with your heart. And if you have brains, use them too.